times are these when passing ruffians can say "ni" at will to old ladies.
Anyway, folks, it's the daily space weather, and we be streaming live onto Twitch, and we are doing the standard old daily space weather here. Although it's not in standard format because I've done zero show prep, as I have had to deal with all kinds of things, as I worry a lot about, oh my gosh, toilet paper! No, not the toilet paper! And of course, the elderberry wine, which you notice the bottle is still completely full, folks, because we have a classified number of bottles of elderberry wine, and of course, toilet paper. Still looking at the sun in 193 angstroms here, and share with us what you're doing while you bug in, if you are bugged in. Are you playing cards? I recommend cambric finish, as they're very slippery. Or perhaps do some woodworking. Why not some woodworking? How about that? You can't catch coronavirus from sawdust. Also, perhaps get a nice, what is it, 4-gauge cable like this, 4-gauge piece of wire like this, and perhaps wire your car battery to your genitals. Who knows? People are into some weird stuff nowadays. Or perhaps take care of family. Now, we've experienced some problems here. I think smAsh staff might be feeling a little under the weather. She doesn't usually show off her lingerie. I think she might be feeling sick. I don't know if she's got coronavirus or not. Please leave a comment. All right, get off camera, smAsho staff. Go hydrate or something. You're looking a little dehydrated here. Anyway, I think we may have to fire her, as her performance has really been diminishing. I think she's lost a bunch of weight too. I don't know. It doesn't look like that fishnet ensemble's fitting you there, hun. Let's go look at Helio Viewer now that we've looked at the 304 angstroms view. And here's the view on Helio Viewer of the fields. And we see 0 sunspots. A little bit of an active region rising over here under my cursor. Here's where stuff is in the solar system. There's where things will be in a week, as people freak out because there's a 90-degree angle between Mars and Mercury and the Sun, and then the Earth and the Moon are going to line up, and people are going to be like, oh my God! That solar flare was totally caused by that trajectory of those objects. Speaking of trajectories of objects, and again, I did zero show prep today, folks, so while I loaded this up, I didn't really do very much of anything else besides search for some memes. Anyway, we're looking at the view from stereo A here, and let me break out Epic Pen. And yes, I'm good at data, because I want to just draw in for the new viewers out there where stereo A is located. So we're going to head back to theplanetstoday.com. Stereo A is someplace out in this area, about here, looking in this direction. Stereo B is out in this area, and it's basically broken since 2014, but stereo A will show us when coronal mass ejections are headed in this direction, which is why we look at stereo A on the regs. And today and yesterday, we've covered this. It looks like a large sun-diving comet. As you can see the trajectory of this object. Now, it could be Venus, but the trajectory looks like it's going across the ecliptic plane, which is kind of in this sort of orientation, kind of parallel with the sun's equator. And while planets have a slightly different obliquity to that, that sure looks like it's diving down across the plane right now. Not a characteristic of a planet, Anyway, without doing any further consideration of that or really caring, it's only 4 days and 17 hours from spring. Are you planning on viewing the spring equinox from a bunker? Will you check out our live stream? Are you considering robbing a bank instead of trying to raid our bunker because you'd have a better odds of success and survival? Next, we're going to look at location of things like constellations. And it's getting light out, folks. We're doing the space weather quite late today, as there's a planetary pileup with Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury all rising before the sun as the moon is near its apex. And people are like, oh my God! KP index is at 1. And we're not going to look at cosmic rays today. We did it yesterday. 10.7 centimeter radial flux has dropped all the way down to 68. Back to solar minimum conditions. And hey, we've survived Friday the 13th. We'll survive the solar minimum conditions also. Fortunately, it hasn't gone all the way down to 64. And we see a little bit of activity rising on the east of the sun. So anyway, welcome to cycle 25. There are not very many X-rays to monitor. By the way, we talked about cosmic rays a bit yesterday. We covered the stations as well as left this link to Physics Open Lab. If you haven't seen that, check out yesterday's Daily Space Weather, where we tell you to bug in and not bug out, as stores will probably be stocked again in a couple of days. Please leave a comment if you know where your toilet paper is manufactured. Ours does use some imported materials, believe it or not, and we're not going to divulge the brand, as that is classified. Although I will divulge the brand of the wine. It is Manischewitz Elderberry. We'll tell you why later. By the way, I bought the last 2 bottles at the liquor store I was at. Please do not create a run on elderberry wine. Buy like 3 or 4 bottles. It's not that good. Although it is better than Manischewitz Concord grape. Solar wind conditions are solar wind density 3.8 protons per cubic centimeter. Solar wind speed 345 kilometers a second. And we just saw some shifts in the phi angle as I did show prep, which wasn't really show prep today. It was more like me screwing around. And it looks like we've got some missing data on the ACE. Oh my God! Please leave a comment if you know who Gond is. Yes, Gond. It's spelled G-O-N-D. Go ahead, look it up, I dare you. You better pray to Gond that you don't get coronavirus. There you go. Now I've put it in context for you. You're welcome. Anyway, here's the Geospace Magnetosphere movie. And again, we are streaming this live to Twitch. With good reason. It's because the Twitch streaming platform is fantastique. And Geospace is looking pretty boring here. And we'll be looking at the electron flux soon. But first, we're going to look at ground geospace magnetic perturbations. And I haven't preloaded it for you today, folks, so you may have to wait for things to load. I apologize for the delay, as we don't clip the videos or produce them. We release them in raw format. I'm sure the Wu-Tang Clan would appreciate it. And yes, we don't particularly edit unless we make a produced video, which we only do sometimes. Anyway, there's the geospace ground magnetic perturbations as the South Pole creeps towards southwestern Australia. The main perturbations we see are over the Canadian North Pole, not the Siberian one. And let's move on to more stuff, as there's lots of things to cover yet. We got to blast through this and make even more content. Magnetometer data is looking pretty strong, and we're expecting to see some pretty direct field force lines and a pretty significant lack of plasma in between the photosphere and your face. Let's check it out. There's the latest data on Gong 2. This is 1 hour and 39 minutes old. And again, part of the reason we live stream it is because we include all kinds of real-time data in the videos. So if you want to see what was happening on a different date, go watch our older video from that date, and it'll be there. Or you can just access it from this website. Anyway, here's the Gong 2 data, and you can see we are now breaking into some plasma lacking zones. Here, let me show you what I mean. These areas in here have less plasma than these areas here, allowing Earth's magnetic field force lines to snap into the sun more directly. And that's why you see higher magnetometer readings. It's because the sun is able to more directly magnetically connect, and less of that magnetism is diffused and involved in manipulating that plasma as a result. Plasma, plasma, plasma. Plasma's not magic, folks. And I'll just leave it at that. I won't explain how the universe isn't electric on this video. Here's the line of sight ecliptic plane, the line of sight field plot from the ecliptic plane perspective. A little more earthly in that this is what the fields would look like if you were looking at it from Earth. And this data is derived from about 50 ground-based magnetometers, as well as data from stereo A and stereo B. Nothing too exciting going on there, really. And electron flux is still quite low, I believe. Let's see, there's the GOES electron flux, and it is low enough to barely be measurable during part of the time, as when it gets down to the less than 1 mega electron volt, it's tough to measure. So we shouldn't see any charging hazards. Let's load the animation of the ionosphere next. And thanks everybody for tuning into the videos, regardless of where you watch it, whether it's on BitChute, whether it's on YouTube, or whether it's on Twitch. Anyway, there's 6 hours of the ionosphere. Nothing too exciting going on there. Looks pretty normal to me. And there's the latest image from 10:30 UT. By the way, please consider becoming a patron if you enjoy the content, as we are constantly changing the format, and look for things like paywalls on our own servers, smAshomash.org and smAshomash.com, and their web rings. Until then, consider becoming a patron. We've got 2 tiers there, as well as a tier on Subscribestar. So perhaps consider supporting the channel that way. There's also a PayPal link below. And if you enjoy the content on YouTube, please check us out there, as we put exclusive content on all the platforms to some degree.
Come, come, Governor. Let us not be paralyzed. Let us rise and take the day roughly from behind.
So don't be cross. Let us rise and take the day roughly from behind, as the Colonel used to say in his unfortunate way. BitChute is a rampant success, unbelievable success over there at BitChute. Just fantastic. Thanks everybody for watching the videos over there. Some are exclusive, and it's all because of the way YouTube behaves. If YouTube wasn't a censorship organization, we would put everything everywhere. But certain non-all-tech sites like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Apple force us to do these sorts of things, so here we are on Minds. It's minds.com/smAshomash. And we've got memes upon memes upon memes. And here's the latest. That's not the latest. But anyway, back in 2018, around Christmas time, we got a little bit critical of Facebook, and we started making memes aimed at Facebook. Here's one, depicting vacuum cleaners, with words like idiocy and admin abuse on why Facebook's admins suck. And we're going to get into more stuff like that momentarily. But first, let's look at windy.com's pressure maps. We're going to let this advance about 24 hours here into Monday. If you're wondering where I'm located, it's in eastern Pennsylvania in the Lehigh Valley. Don't come a-knocking, because we won't be answering, and you won't be entering without shocking danger to yourself. So we're not taking guests. Don't come a-knocking. We won't be answering. There's where things will be at 1300 tomorrow. And poof, just like that, I'm back. All right, next we're going to look at earthquakes. We look at earthquakes daily on the daily space weather, as all your weather comes from space. So welcome to the understanding of that. And we don't see any 6 magnitude quakes, but we see some deep quakes according to Mary, and thanks for the update, Mary. There's an extremely deep quake at Fiji at a 4.6 magnitude and 617 kilometers depth. There's a 4.5 at Japan at 144 kilometers depth. I apologize if it sounds like you're on the Starship Enterprise. That's just what it sounds like in the bunker, so. Sometimes you just gotta exit the smash tower and enter the smash bunker and call it a day. Alright, so let's see here. There's a deep quake at Chile also. Here's an extremely shallow quake at 1,200 meters above sea level at Hawaii. Let's check that one out. Looks like it's really far west. Nowhere near the caldera, underneath the lower slopes of Mauna Loa. Anyway, there's the location of that one. Still very high up. Clearly a magmatic quake. Let's get back to the list and move on here. We don't want the video to be too long. And coming in just a little while ago, about a half an hour ago, it looks like. It's 6:50 a.m. All right, so that one came in about over an hour ago. It's a 4.4 magnitude at Guatemala, so a deep quake there in Central America. Now, are you on Mines? If you're not on Mines, you need to check out my image gallery on Mines, as it is epic, and we've got all kinds of commentary. So, you know, if you don't check out the material over there, you're going to miss a lot of exclusive content, as I generally use Mines instead of Facebook, and I avoid getting bitten by bald eagles. I try to campaign for the Oprah 2020 presidential campaign. I talk about things like James Hansen, director of Goddard Institute for Space Sciences, who reportedly told the Associated Press, "It's our last chance," which was in 2008. In 5 to 10 years, the Arctic would be free of sea ice. Oh my God, no! Anyway, there's sea ice up there. And we talk about one percenters, for instance, plutocrats that try to convince you that other plutocrats are evil. And most recently, we've had to dredge up an old meme because of Uncle Bernie. So have you checked out smAsho.org? Well, what are you waiting for? If you scroll down, you can even find a link to the smAsho forum, where we have all kinds of interesting content. And now we've got some Bernie quotes on the coronavirus. Let's see what Bernie has to say. I'll play a Twitter video from Bernie.
Scale of a major virus is on a scale of a major war.
Coronavirus is on the scale of a major war.
And we must act accordingly.
Apparently Bernie says we need to act accordingly because the casualties of coronavirus may be on the scale of World War II. Please leave a comment if you're going to maybe I don't know, break out the flamethrower. By the way, we found a cure for coronavirus, and it's not this. But I'm going to show you what the cure is. Let's see. I think we've got, here we go. So we found the cure to coronavirus. Thanks, Tom. Shout out to Tom, showing up on the space weather video for once.
Here at Scum Incorporated and T. Walter Myers Homeschooling, we're actively seeking a cure for the corona. Here we have a mock-up of the corona, the evil corona. Son, what kills corona?
A flamethrower kills corona, Dad.
I think you got it, kid. Corona's cured. No more corona. T. Walter Myers Homeschooling. You send your kid here for a sizable contribution and donation. I educate your kid on how to eradicate the evil corona as well. Here.
Anyway, follow Tom on Instagram. That one's on Scum Incorporated. And I'll actually link to that below the video because that's just good times. Anyway, if you want to hear more about actual coronavirus preventions, how about elderberries? Yeah, that's why we keep showing you the elderberry wine and toilet paper, because, you know, all you need is one of these and one of these, folks. And, you know, you can last a week. You can last a week with no running water or Purell. So, anyway, check out smAshomash.com/forum. In the free-for-all section, you'll find a sticky all about virus. Here's my latest post.
Check it out. It's a bug-in cocktail consisting of calcium plus vitamin D, half a multivitamin, vitamin C, L-lysine, an essential amino acid, and vitamin E.
Did you get that?
What?
Anyway, follow us on Instagram if you don't know about it. There's all kinds of exclusive content there. What's so scary about coronavirus? Something's making it scary. Let's check out the current state of affairs. 156,000 total confirmed cases, 5,833 total deaths. Here's the chart, and look at the sudden spike in cases outside of China. They rose exponentially over the past couple of days. Let's hope to see that continue to level off, as now we see lots of cases in Africa. Perhaps check out the Johns Hopkins page. It is linked on the smAsho forums. Next, we're going to look at volcanoes, as breathing in sulfur isn't bad for you, believe it or not, unless it's too much sulfur. Then you die. Kluchevskoy back to erupting as it explodes. It's producing a 25,000-foot plume of ash. Mount Aso, flight level 5,000 there. Dakono, flight level 7,000 there. Popocatépetl, flight level 20,000 there. Sangay, flight level 19,000 there. Ravenador, flight level 15,000 there. All exploding. Sabancaya exploding. Also sporadically puffing and perhaps passing, producing a 24,000-foot ash plume. Please do not hang glide over Sabancaya. It's a bad time to crash a hang glider, as you could catch the common cold if you crash your hang glider. Here's where the jet streams are. Oh, check it out. I blew it up. Oh, blowing up the null school size. Oh my God! Did you like yesterday's thumbnail, folks? That was a classic. Was it a little bit too alarmist for you? Anyway, here's the Western Jets. As business as usual proceeds in a lot of places. In other places, it grinds to a halt. Let's check and see what's going on with water vapor maps. And again, see, this is what happens when you don't do show prep, folks. The stuff is not ready and you gotta wait for it to load. And I can do all kinds of unnecessary commentary and alarmism and be like, oh my God, it's water vapor, holy crow, it's a greenhouse gas, holy shnikes, holy shnikes. Here is a similar map which is also not refreshed for Oceania and the Far East. Please leave a comment if you're viewing from the Far East. I think we have a total of 16 viewers in the Far East, especially now that David Dubine's moved back to the U.S. And hey, David, give me a ring. I don't know what happened yesterday. I didn't get the right kind of, my phone never rang, first of all. And second of all, the Skype notification was not even present on the computer, which is where I needed to be in order to handle the call. Here's a U.S. water vapor map. And it looks like it's going to be a little cooler today in Pennsylvania. Let's look at the convergence zone over the Texas Stovepipe. That's my favorite spot today. As a bunch of dry air smashes and mashes. Check out that dry air. It's all mashing and smashing. It's just stabbing up this way into the wet air and being like, it's just stabbing up there into the northeast, stabbing into the northeast. Remember, folks, dry air is more massive than moist air and is largely controlling the inputs in the atmosphere. If you don't watch the water vapor maps, you certainly will not understand meteorology. And here ends today's weather pornography. Next, we're going to break out the old Weather Underground terrorist-based radar. And it looks like it could actually snow in Pennsylvania. It seems like it's a little bit too warm for that, but let's zoom in for once. Oh my gosh, it's powered by the IBM Cloud! Well, thank goodness for Chef Boyardee. Thanks, IBM Cloud. Way to finagle an advertisement. All right, there we go. And this message brought to you by Pepsi, Viacom, Comcast, Time Warner Media. Just kidding, folks. We get paid next to nothing to make these videos. So thanks for that, YouTube. Enjoy your zombie corporation status. And it looks like we've got some stuff going on. There's some lightning striking near La Mesa, Texas. Holy crap, look at the lightning. Jeez, northwest of Snyder. Hey, Snyder, there is a plethora of thunder rolling in. Midland? It's probably going to pass you by, Midland. Hey, Smash team. Thanks for tuning in. Whether you viewed the Smash stream or whether you viewed on BitChute or on YouTube. We consider it a collaborative effort, so please leave a comment, share on your social media. Tell your friends, tell your foes. Are you feeling better, Smash staff? All right. Just kidding, folks. Smash staff is fine. That was just some comic relief. Here's the local intensity gram of the yellow dwarf. And it's not very intense, as there are no sunspots. Here's the magnetogram in colorized format. And there's that cycle 25 plage about to set in the southwest. I don't know why I'm drawing an arrow for that. If you can't see that, you're blind. Maybe you spend too much time staring at the sun Galileo style. And last but not least, let's look at a 304 angstroms 48-hour video. No, wait, I think we did that already. How about a 94 angstroms? It takes more images. Did you know? Anyway, it is about that time as we have more content to make and more videos to premiere and produce. So thanks for staring at the sun. Remember, don't drink, and if you do, don't drive. And since you may never be in the bunker again, may the solar wind be at your back.